Okay, I've got a question. What does a struggling songwriter, a knitting obsession, and a whole lot of fictional fantasies have in common?
Well, somehow, believe it or not, they are all key plot points in a new movie out on UPTV. This one is called The Great Christmas Snow-In. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to discuss, Jennifer.
That's right. We do, Josh, and we will unwrap it all in this episode. You don't want to miss it. Of Do You Watch What I Watch?
Sit down and watch, then have a talk with Jennifer and Josh.
Okay, today we're getting in the car and we are taking a detour from Hallmark to UpTV to a cabin, a snow-covered cabin. Josh, can you tell us the summary from IMDb?
Absolutely. So this one stars Joey Lawrence. And if you are like us and grew up in the 90s, you might remember that name from a TV show called Blossom. Whoa, he's back on TV. Anyway, he plays this guy named Justin. Here's what we know. Justin retreats to a cabin meant for his honeymoon, but is snowed in with Jane, his ex-fiance's cousin. A spark forms between them when Justin's ex comes with her new boyfriend. Secrets and discoveries about love and second chances reveal. All right, let's go.
So we mainly know Joey Lawrence from Blossom fame, but also didn't he had a series with his two brothers? Wasn't it Brotherly Love? Did you ever watch that?
Yes and no. I did not watch that, but I have heard of the show. Yes.
Do you
Didn't watch
remember
it,
it?
no.
He was also in an ABC Family show, Melissa and Joey, with Melissa Joan Hart, that I did watch. It was super cheesy,
Yes.
but I was here for the cheese. And lesser known, he appeared on Celebrity Big Brother. And of course, I watched him on that because I love Big Brother.
There
So
you go.
I'm not new to the Joey Lawrence of it all, but here we are. It's important to know that Melina Alves, who plays Addie, Justin's fiance or ex-fiance, she in real life wrote this. She plays Addie, and she's the producer and executive producer of this movie.
Wow. Okay.
So Melina's all in on this movie.
Snow
Okay?
in. She's all in on the snow in.
She's not all in on the snow in. It's also important to note that we were gonna go to bed one night, and I was like, let me just see like the first few minutes and just kind of get a little, taste of what's to come on this movie. And I watched the first 10 minutes, and my husband was like brushing his teeth and getting ready. And he's like, "What is this?" And he said, "No, stop." And we hit stop, and we made it at a dedicated date viewing. We were like, we are gonna order pizza tomorrow night and watch this movie together. And he rarely does this. He'll watch like the Three Wise Men and the Finding Mr. Christmases, like the funny ones, but usually he's like, no, you can watch that one on your own. Still trying to convince him to watch Ted Cooper in Newport. He won't do it yet. But this, he was like, canceled the rest of our plans. We're watching this movie. Okay.
All in on the snow in.
Anticipation was high in my household. All day we're like, woo-hoo! So we ordered our Little Caesars hot and ready pizza, and we got settled in. So we open to the saddest version of Joy to the World that I have ever heard in my life. And that
Sets the tone.
that should tell you everything you need to know. Okay. You're just gonna have to really listen because it's all over the place, and I can be spazzing all over the place, but I'm trying to tell you as it happened what this movie was going on. Okay. So we see a woman unlock a lockbox and try to enter a cabin mid-snow. And Joey Lawrence plays Justin. He answers the door in a leather jacket because who isn't hanging out in a cabin by themselves in a leather jacket? And he's saying he has booked the cabin months ago for his honeymoon and his ex-fiance. Turns out the girl who's at the door is Jane. Jane is the ex-fiance's cousin / bridesmaid. So he's like, oh yeah, you're Jane, right? Yeah. When things went south with the engagement, Jane booked the rental because she knew her cousin Addie had talked it up so much that she wanted it, and she knew it was going to be available because the wedding was off. Well, I guess whoever is renting this cabin out doesn't really have it all together because it's rented out to two people at the same time. Bonkers. Because Justin was like, no, we already paid for it. I'm going to go. Jane is a fiction romance novelist. think Harlequin, like she references Harlequin novels,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm-hmm.
not really the family-friendly fiction that I thought we would get portrayed on an UpTV uplifting
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. It's clear she's
More to come.
into, yeah, it's a little kind of like a trashy romance novel, kind of
Like the ones you
loosely.
see at Kroger that have like the Fabio paintings of guys on the cover and whatnot. Okay, so they're both at this cabin, and he insists you gotta stay the night because there's inclement weather. Their phones are going off because there's a blizzard warning, whatever. There's road closures. So they chat over a bowl of Wheat O's cereal, and we learn he was a songwriting duo with Addie. And I guess they were big and, very successful, but he's not sure where they stand now. Well, she left you at the altar to date her manager, Alejandro. So I think you know where you stand. But
Yeah.
maybe Justin's in a little bit of denial. It seems like this just happened, right? At times it seems like it just happened, and other times it seems like it happened months ago. But I think we're led to believe the wedding, I mean, she left him at the altar, right? Like the wedding just happened because this was going to be their honeymoon.
Yeah. Which throws the entire premise of this thing on its head because, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I guess people go on a honeymoon later if it's, they're wanting to go at a certain time of year or something, maybe.
Maybe they wanted to go at Christmas,
Don't
I
know.
guess.
All right.
Don't know.
Justin really wants to read one of Jane's books, but she'd be embarrassed. He promises to not judge. And I put in all caps, I did not make that promise to not judge. I'ma be judging.
It's what we're here for. It's what the people have come to
Yeah.
expect from us. Yeah.
So Justin, he's in his cut off black tank top in his bed at the cabin, and there's garland atop the headboard, like you do. And he's nestling in to read some of Jane's book. We have Jane's voice narrating. And I don't feel good because we get a dream sequence of Joey Lawrence dressed up like Tarzan, and and Jane is Jane from Tarzan, and it is cringy, and he's coming on to her like they're flirting in this romance dream sequence of his, and then he wakes up and tells himself that would be a bad idea because Jane is Addie's cousin. Whew.
Yeah.
What were
It
your thoughts
was.
so far at this point?
I'm sitting on my couch and I'm wondering, what are we doing? Because it felt very out of left field that he would be having these dreams about her having just sort of had this encounter with her. I mean, presumably he knew her, but there had been no development that there might be even the hint of a spark. And if this was supposed to be the hint of the spark, it was not convincing.
How long has he been in that cabin by himself as well?
Thank you. Weeks. He hasn't seen a woman in months. I don't know, like something.
I mean, it was full Tarzan noises, long hair wig, shirtless Joey Lawrence, her dressed up like Jane, vines. Not to mention, not for nothing, I didn't even say this, it starts with her trying to get in the cabin. It feels like the movie started about 20 minutes to, it feels like there should have been a little more build up to her just getting to the door of the cabin. But the whole movie takes place at the cabin.
At the cabin.
At 2 or 3 rooms of the cabin. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The next day we get he says he's not uninspired and he's, playing piano and trying to, unlock his writer's block. He tells Jane he read the first half of her book and it was fun and frivolous. Excuse me?
Okay.
I don't think that's the compliment you think it is, Joey Lawrence, but all right.
No.
And they're flirting. She's flirting back with him. There's this weird tension. And it's 10 minutes into the movie.
We are forcing the relationship to happen here. Yeah.
Not because of a time constraint. No, we just put
this is a 2-hour
90% of the action in the first 25 minutes.
You remember last year when Chili's did that commercial movie on Lifetime?
I forgot about that. Yes.
This
That
felt
was weird.
shadows of this because it was very just like, we got to make things happen here.
All right, so Justin offers to make Jane breakfast, and she gives him a hard time for talking about Addie so much because she's jealous of her cousin slash his ex-fiance. All right. She's knitting a sock. Okay, she's knitting. Basically, if you're going to cosplay as Jane, here, this is a YouTube visual. She's always holding a big piece of fabric and she's just knitting, sitting in one spot on the couch. And he's
Knitting.
walking around with his arms and biceps out the whole time for reasons unknown to anyone, unless he's wearing a leather jacket.
Leather jacket.
So
Yeah.
she's knitting, and she says, you know, she likes to knit things that match the personality of the person that they're for. And this one that she's knitting is a sock that is whimsical, quirky, and stylish. Turns out it's a stocking, and it's for him. Okay. She says he passes the eye test, and I wrote, Joey Lawrence whisper talks a lot. He's like, hey, Jane, how's that stocking? Except add a more Jersey accent on top of anything I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He then asks Jane, who's still knitting, would you want to write a song with him? And she declines. And yeah, then they pan out to some B-roll of the cabin, and it is for real in the middle of nowhere.
Can't
Nary
even
a
see a
soul
road.
around.
Nary a soul.
Ooh. I don't even
No.
know how she got there, honestly. Did she put snowshoes on and walk? It's unclear. Then we get another dream sequence of this steamy novel, because Justin's reading it in bed again with his garland headboard. And he's smirking while he's reading it, which gives me the ick. And this time, he's Zorro, or a Zorro type figure. He doesn't say he's Zorro, because I'm sure there's copyright, laws around that. But then I wrote in all caps, I thought this was supposed to be positive and uplifting, and not whatever this is.
Weird.
She's
Weird.
like in some like Western like bodice situation, like sultrily swinging a sword around.
Bonkers. Did not have that on my 2025 bingo card. Had none of this on my 2025 bingo card, truthfully.
And in case you're keeping track, her knitting a stocking is the only Christmas we've had so far. More to come. All
More
right.
to come.
Turns out the next day, Jane did take a stab at writing a song, even though she's only a novelist. And turns out he loves her book, and they're just getting along swimmingly. Justin takes to the piano to sing the lyrics that she wrote of Christmas Led Me to You, which I actually am embarrassed to admit I didn't hate the lyrics. It could have been a jam, actually. It could have been a jam sandwich. But Jane, the actress, I'm sorry, singing's not your jam, okay? Maybe
No.
just stick to the writing.
Please.
And as Justin's singing, my husband points out that it's giving boy band. Like, it's like
A
lots
lot of
of
that.
this
A lot of that.
business from like 1999, and it's present day. Okay. So Justin puts sleeves on finally, and they play checkers. He's happy and says she says he deserves to be happy and that he dodged a bullet with her cousin. Jane's not a real one. Nope, she is not a bestie for the restie. She talks about how hard high school was and how both her and Addie wanted to be singer-songwriters, and Addie always got the attention. Okay, so Jane's just big-time jealous because Addie was the pretty one and the smart one and the funny one, whatever. Like, she's letting out all of this. And he's just very, like, sincere and listening and whisper talking more. They look longingly at one another, and then he asks, are they becoming a cliche? Yes, you are.
Yes.
But she
period.
was like, she thought, the one funny thing I will say, she would point out tropes that were happening. Like, oh, you're making me breakfast and asking me how I like my eggs. And, that's like a thing that rom-coms do. So I did like that self-awareness, but I don't know why. I don't know what happened with the rest of it. They almost kiss when the door opens to the cabin and they get murdered. Nope.
Nope.
No, actually, that didn't happen. Because that would have been interesting. No, instead, Addie and Alejandro show up, barreling through the door. Turns out they booked the cabin, or didn't realize the cabin had so many people in it. And you know what? The weather is so bad. Justin's like, yeah, guys, you should just stay. The weather's really bad. That's more understanding than I would have been. Okay.
Well, Justin does say at least 13 times in this movie that the refrigerator is really stocked. So, I mean, we're not going to worry about the food situation because Justin's
they don't have to go hunt and gather.
No.
Yeah, I was
no.
hoping for some American Primeval kind of business where they have to go and like slay a deer or a moose.
That would have been an interesting plot point. I mean, why are they not walking in the near vicinity of this? I mean, change the scenery or something. My goodness.
No,
I
it's
guess because she has
it's
to
on.
knit. It's hard to walk and knit at the same time. I mean,
She's still knitting. Every time you see her, she be knitting. Okay. And okay, so yeah, the next day it's still snowing, and Addie. Now, also, if it was gonna be, you have weather reports, right? Like, if it was gonna be this bad of weather, maybe you just wouldn't have driven to the secluded cabin.
potentially.
It had been snowing. It's not like this came out of nowhere. Like, it's been snowing, so maybe don't drive in the snow to then get stuck in the snow.
Hmm.
But then we wouldn't have a movie. All right.
No.
So the next day, it's still snowing. Addie apologizes to Justin, and Justin and Jane look out. They're on the balcony. Okay. We've finally gotten out of this dimly lit cabin. They're standing on the balcony with some terrible CGI background. I heard people talking about the bad CGI in Newport Christmas. I thought they made the best of it. I didn't even note that it was bad. I mean, was it great? No, but it's a Hallmark budget. What do you want? This is offensive. But then it gets better when they almost kiss, and Addie opens the door to the deck, watching her cousin almost kiss her ex-fiance. And Jane slips and falls over the railing, possibly to her death. DVD.
Brief
Also,
moment of
as my
peril.
husband pointed out, the music does not match the moment right now to be such a serious thing. What are we doing? Justin runs after her, and she's thankful he came to get her, because guess what? The next time we see her, she's back in the dimly lit cabin. She's
All is good. Don't worry. The knitting's still going on.
she's knitting with a new hairstyle, I'm pretty sure. So we had time to survive falling. Even if it was just a few floors, it wouldn't feel good falling
No.
off of a deck
No.
in a
Yeah.
snowy ice scene. Not even a bruise on her, but there, she's just propped up, knitting
Knitting.
with her hair done in the common area. Okay, so Justin brings her some hot cocoa, and she's appreciative of that. Addie then asks Jane about her love life and says, "What about Justin? Justin's great." "You mean Justin, your ex-fiance?" They were engaged, again, I think weeks ago. Addie says he's single and she's happy with Alejandro now. So she wants Jane to find happiness like her and Alejandro, except, well, we do have our moments, her and Alejandro, but she makes it work. Alejandro wants to do some trust exercises with Justin, which is just a whole thing in and of itself. And we get a dance montage with the gang, and I don't know if that was supposed to be a Joey Lawrence singing over this song. I couldn't tell if that was him or not, but it sounded reminiscent of that. Anywho, then Justin and Jane are dancing, and Addie starts to get jealous. Like you do, even though she had literally just told Jane to go after him. They play a rousing game of Christmas trivia, and now Addie has realized she hates Alejandro and compares him to the donkey in the manger. In a sudden turn of events that I didn't see coming. All right. She writes one chapter of a new book. Oh, Jane, I guess. Yeah. Jane writes one chapter of a new book, and we get Justin reading and another dream sequence. And if you thought it couldn't get more absurd, this one, it gets even more absurd. So we get the dream sequence, and it's Jane's sequence conscience. So there's evil and good on her shoulders or behind her, and they're discussing if they should kiss presumably dead Justin and wake him up. And the evil says, toggle his tonsils, suckle his face, and swappist the spittle, literal quotes. Whereas the angel was trying to convince her to not do it. The next day, I mean, what was this? It was like Snow White or Sleeping Beauty, but
Yes, we were going for like a Sleeping Beauty situation. Yeah. And then it was this whole dilemma around consent, which is just like an icky concept all the way around to bring up
Yeah.
in one of these. It was just,
Aren't we supposed to be
Absurd.
uplifted? Are you uplifted yet in this movie?
I am I am flabbergasted at this point, not uplifted.
My flabbers were gasted for sure. Yep.
Precisely.
Okay. The next day, Justin's working on the song, and Addie barges in and locks the door, and she starts rubbing his shoulders. Again, consent should be more of a thing, guys. She comes on to him, and as he's putting her in her place, Jane overhears them in the hallway. And this is our big oopsie doodle because
Classic.
she just
Yeah.
hears, Addie's side of things and thinks that they're getting back together. Addie
And
tells Jane
why
that Alejandro. Go ahead.
I was just going to say why Addie couldn't point out the cliche of this moment is beyond me, because that's the most cliche moment in this entire thing.
Dime a dozen, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Addie tells Jane that Alejandro is driving her crazy and she thinks she made a huge mistake. And she tells her when they were riding together today, her and Justin, that it came flooding back. Addie is delusional. That's what I wrote down. Justin tries to flirt with Jane, but she's knitting and gives him the cold shoulder. She tells Justin what Addie said, and she doesn't know what to believe. She calls out every trope and cliche that they are, which I do appreciate, and it turns out Addie stole Jane's boyfriend in high school. And Jane says, "How can I trust you?" He tells her she can, and in life you need a little faith, trust, and pixie dust.
Whew.
My eye is twitching in this review. A recap. My eye is twitching. Addie tells Alejandro that he'll hurt Justin. No, Alejandro tells Addie he'll hurt Justin if he catches them together, which is what you want to see in a Christmas movie. Alejandro tries to hit on Jane to retaliate while she's trying to get food out of the fridge, the fully stocked fridge, and she shoots him down. Jane makes a sad stocking while Justin sings Silent Night. Jane gives herself a pep talk to use her backbone while she looks at a bottle of mouthwash with a bow on it, for reasons unknown to me, in the bathroom. Addie hits on Justin again, this time in the hall. Alejandro catches her all over him. Oh, this is when she had the face mask on, isn't it? She was doing like a facial treatment and she had like green, Elphaba face. And Alejandro catches it. He challenges Justin to a flamenco dance-off. He chest bumps Justin and knocks him out. Luckily, Jane is there looking all done up when he wakes. Justin says, "I love you, Jane. I love you." Really? After commercial break, Justin and Jane are canoodling on the couch and read a letter to Santa from Alex. Where did this letter come from?
Who knows? It just
Who's
materialized.
Alex?
At this point,
You all know that I struggle with names. I'm like, who's Alex? Do we nickname Alejandro Alex? No.
Yeah.
Turns out they have a pile of letters to Santa, I guess, that have been left there from previous renters over the years,
It's
like
the
a guest book. But it's letters to Santa.
Who knows?
Jane encourages Justin to forgive Addie and Alejandro. Okay. Jane reads another letter to Santa from an unknown source, and it turns out it's from young Addie, who wished her parents would get along because her family always used to stay at this cabin back in the day. Now, I guess she had good memories in this cabin, but it sounds like there were some bad ones too. Why would you want to go here on your honeymoon? It just seems like we're capital T traumaing this thing.
I don't know.
Addie finally comes around and is like, "You know what, Jane and Justin, you deserve this love." Addie and Alejandro are going to try and make things work. Jane makes Addie a reconciliation stocking, and my husband points out that it looks like they stuck a TV behind them. I don't know if you noticed in this scene. So it's like it's shot from behind the couch, and it's Addie and Jane talking, and you can see the fireplace beyond. It's like a stone surround fireplace, but in it looks like they put a flat screen in there with like the Netflix fireplace TV on the flat screen.
It's not a real fire. I thought the very same thing. It was like painfully obvious it was a TV back there.
Yeah. Then the whole gang is happy. They're going to work together to bake cookies and set the table for a Christmas feast. But we just get like B-roll close-ups of the cookies. Like we don't see them really doing much for this feast, which is a choice. And then they go around the table and say what they're thankful for. Justin sings another original song at the keyboard, and Addie walks in and watches because she's always there. She misses them riding together. Then Addie and Alejandro say goodbye, and Justin and Jane are on that deck again, the deck of doom.
The Deck of
And there's
Doom.
CGI waving at them below while Alejandro's using like the dinkiest of ice scrapers to scrape his car. Like, was that like a hotel key or something he was using? What was that?
Basically, yeah, yeah.
And then Justin and Jane kiss, and the movie is over.
It's time for Golden Coal.
All right, time for our Golder Coal segment where we're going to tell you at the end of the day if we think this one is worth the while. I can't even spit it out, right? It's just going to be so...
Do you like the stocking I knitted while I was doing the recap?
Loved it, loved it. So
Yeah.
if we give more gold in the total here, which could happen, we're going to say it is chicken soup. If there's more coal, it's chicken poop. That was a line that we got
Which is
in this one.
right. Literally something they said. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if it's a tie 3-3, it's just a meh. Merry Christmas. Jennifer, coming to you first. What do you got?
Y'all, listen. Listen. I can't even. We try to be respectful of these movies because there are real people spending real money and real time and effort to make them. Okay? And we want to respect that. We've never made a movie, so really, who are we but a couple knuckleheads who have a podcast and get together once a week as friends and talk about movies, right? Like, who are we?
Who are we?
But
And
we do think that people watch and listen to us to figure out is it worth the watch? Is it worth your time? And we owe it to you.
this is a lot of buildup. A lot of
Okay, I
buildup.
don't want to speak for you. I owe it to you. Okay? Because John was called you Justin. Josh may love it. I owe it to you to tell you this is, without a doubt, the worst Christmas movie I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of Christmas movies. We have talked about a lot of Christmas movies.
I'll let you collect your thoughts. When I tell you this is a dumpster fire, what is going on? Okay, back to you.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna. If the people, I don't want the people who made it to watch this and be sad. That bums
No,
me
I don't
out as a
either.
person.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I just hope they don't find this because I gotta tell y'all. All right, the first gift is coal. There's no chemistry between anybody in this movie. I mean, I talked to somebody getting an oil change and had more banter with them. Not even romantic chemistry. Like, there's just
Yeah.
not like these people were standing in the same room sometimes and just saying the lines, but not even like, there was just it was just we were just doing a dry read, I think, of the script. Next.
I'm starting with Cole. There is nothing remotely Christmassy about this movie. It takes place in a winter cabin. She knits stockings. That does not a Christmas movie make. And that, no holly, no jolly. Don't come to this expecting anything that feels like Christmas warmth. It's just not going to deliver. Cole.
Yeah, there's no morals. There's no warm fuzzies. There's no heartfelt moments. It's just people being catty and like
Petty.
wanting to date people they're not with.
Yeah, and fantasizing about, weird.
Okay, so that's my next gift is coal. These romance fantasy sequences is something out of I don't know what kind of trash. Like otherworldly garbage. It has no place on Up TV. It has no place in a Christmas movie. Like, there's a place for that kind of stuff. It ain't here. It shouldn't have been. It's so out of like, I know how they wrote it into it, but it doesn't what are we doing?
Yeah. They should have
Next.
given her a totally different career because that could have made way more sense than this. It's gotta be more Cole. The CGI of it all is not anything. I mean, it's like, when you pick up your phone and you're on Instagram and you're like, "Hey, let me do that green screen thing." It's
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
quality here. It's just
Mhm.
not great, just really distracting. The production value is just in the pits on this one and not great.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Um, yeah, that was one of mine. So what else how else can I say that I don't like this movie?
Hmm.
We'll give yeah, no, it has to be coal. It has to be some coal. I think related to the production value, the fact that it's dimly lit rooms. You have the living room, his bedroom, and the brightly lit room where he's writing songs, where his ex-fiancée locks the door and traps them in there together. That's really and then, that you have the deck of doom, but mainly, like, I can understand, like, there's a way to make this premise work. I think not the ex-fiancé of it all, but, like, people getting snowed in a cabin and maybe there's some bad blood and you gotta try to work things out. I think there's a way to do that and make it quirky and kind of theater-like where you're all in one house. Like, that's fine. I can deal with a small set, but it was just so painfully obvious. It's not even that it was just a few rooms. Jane is sitting on a couch knitting a stocking for 90% of the movie. Like, there's no action. Nothing happens. They all just
So
talk to each other
sleepy.
and they talk
It's so
about who they
sleepy.
don't wanna be with and who they should be with, and then there's a dream sequence.
And they really stretch to find something for these people to do. Let's play checkers. Like, nobody is doing that. Like, come on. And the fact of the matter is, it's like, why are these people not going outside? Build a snowman, go sledding, do something. It just
Well, because the
really,
house that they're in is clearly gotta be in California or something, and all the
right.
snow is not there. I mean,
Exactly.
really, I think I'm gonna type in B-roll of snow footage, and we should add it at the end of or the beginning or the end of this review, and that's what you saw. Like, it if you AI generated snowy cabin, that was, like, the panning shots to establish where this cabin was.
Well, and I had to wonder, speaking of, it felt very much like this whole script, My Last Gift is Coal, was written by AI because it was very disjointed. The plot really didn't have anything to it. It felt very cliche laden. It just not not great. Kind of felt like a Saturday Night Live parody of a Christmas movie.
I really thought I was being punked. I really thought, "Is this supposed to be funny?" And I don't think it was. I
No.
think, God bless him, Joey Lawrence was playing it with every bit of whisper talk sincerity he had in him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wanted to make this work, and I don't know. It blew my mind. Now, I went into it thinking, the production value was not gonna be as good as Hallmark because of a budget thing, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
just not, and we've
We
seen
get it.
UpTV movies before.
We
We
get
get
it.
it. There's always something a little quirky about UpTV movies. I mean, I think our first season, there was the one where it was basically filmed at a Days Inn or something, a Holiday Inn, and then there was,
Mhm.
like, a robot, like a Christmas robot popped up, remember?
Yeah.
Was that
But
the
I mean,
reunion movie?
it was. And those movies that we saw even last season on Up were far and above better than this. Like, those ones actually had some sort of redeeming quality. At the end of the day, this one just felt like it didn't have anything that was redeeming to it at all for me.
No, and we didn't have we put the feelers out to our listeners. Nobody had any comments because nobody's finished it. I had a couple people message me and they're like, "I started it and I pieced out in like 20 minutes. I
Yeah,
couldn't make
couldn't
it
do
very
it.
far."
Couldn't
So,
do it. And I get it. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we had 6 pieces of coal. Not worth your time. We're going to call it chicken poop.
it's just which again is something they said in this movie, which
They put it
bums
out
me
there.
out.
Don't blame us.
They set themselves up. Yeah. Closing thoughts, Josh.
I'm trying to figure out, normally when we have a movie like this where it's 6 coal, we ask each other, is there anything that could have salvaged this? And I just don't at all see it. I don't. I think the whole premise was not a good one. It was just not great. And I don't think that there's any way they could have
Mm-mm.
fixed this.
It's icky. It's icky to me. Yeah. I will say, if you want some laughs, at least watch the
Yeah.
first like 15, 20 minutes and you'll get
Yeah.
it. Because then it gets boring. Like at the beginning, it's not boring, it's bonkers. So if you want some chuckles, please watch it on UpTV. Watch it for 15 or 20 minutes, catch a few of those sweet, sweet fantasy scenes, and be like, what? And you might get some laughs, which we all need at the holidays.
Yeah. That might be the redeeming quality here is if you've seen your fair
Mhm.
share of Hallmark movies or Christmas movies in general, to watch something like this and be like, ugh, like there might be, sometimes
No
a
one's
dumpster fire
dead.
is pretty to see.
Yeah, there's no death, there's no, tugging at the heartstrings and somebody being really sad and emotional,
Yeah.
there's none of that.
There's no
You just
deader
got,
the better. Jane survived her
yeah,
brief moment of peril, her fall off the deck of doom. Yeah. I mean, could have been worse. Really? No,
praise
couldn't have been
report for
worse.
Jane. We love to see
Praise
it.
report. We'd love to see it. She has a testimony, that Jane. Anyway, that is going to do it for another episode of Do You Watch What I Watch? Hey, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for sticking with us for this one, boy. And go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. That way you'll get your first notification when new episodes drop.
That's right, if you're president of Joey Lawrence's fan club, you can let us know how wrong we are, and that's okay too. I did, while watching this movie, wonder, a am I making smart life decisions with what I'm spending my time on? But I didn't choose this life chose me, we owe it to everybody.
It is
It's
the
our
craft,
ministry.
after all. It is our ministry.
Special thanks, as always, to Nick Shores for our theme song. Thank you for listening. Next time, we are going to be chatting about the much anticipated Three Wisest Men, starring Hallmark Hall stars Andrew Walker, Tyler Hines, Paul Campbell. I'm happy to report I have met them all, and they're all lovely. So, this is the third in the series. If you're catching up and you are kind of binging them, we have reviewed the first two. We liked them, so go back and watch our reviews, catch up, and here is the plot summary for the third. The Brenner family is back, and their lives are more chaotic than ever. As Luke is expecting twins, Taylor is debating a monumental job opportunity out of state, and Stephen attempts to plan for his upcoming nuptials. Everyone's stress heightens when they learn that their mom has put up their childhood home for sale, marking their final Christmas in the Brenner house. And one thing is for certain, we will have much to discuss. But until then,
May your days be merry and bright. We'll see you soon.